Hi all, welcome back to more Normandy, beginning of the end, using Alone in the Storm solo expansion, playing scenario 1, patrol on the front. It's my part 18 and about to start turn 5. Yeah, only 2 turns to go then. Indeed. Yeah, okay, so I've done everything else, we're about to start. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about either. I don't believe, is there? Don't think so. I don't think I got any more response to my questions that I have out there. Actually, I feel like I'm missing something that I was going to discuss. Hang on. Yeah, no, there wasn't anything. Mike brought up. He commented on my question on BGG regarding the movement and about priorities and whatever. He linked me to the beginning in the rulebook where it talks about sometimes you've got to make decisions for yourself, which, you know, I'm a huge big fan of, but anyway, I realise that some of these games, the AI, you do have to intervene and to be honest, there's maybe 2 or 3 things I've done within this game that I've not been 100% clear about in the rules, and I've just felt, well, I'm just going to do it that way because it makes sense, but I don't like that. But yeah, but I just find it strange that there's priorities for each movement action, the 3 movement actions. What is it? Retreat, advance, and defensive movement. These are all 3 different actions, and they all have different priorities if you've got multiple options. Why, when you're just doing a normal move with the AI through that flowchart, is there not also a priority telling you if you've got multiple options? So I don't know, it could be there, but then nobody's pointed me to it as well. So yeah, anyway, right, so there's nothing more to go on about. Right, so let's get started. We need to do, well, there's no command issues, is there? Well, let's just double check, because these are still routed. In fact, I think they're both routed, aren't they? Yeah, we never got anything happening, did we? We moved the officer in this hex because it's slightly better chance of it. So when we come to check depleted companies again, we can't count this because it's routed. Now, whether any other ones, this would be a good thing to take note of. I mean, I don't know, you might have bigger scenarios where you've got multiple companies. We've got 3 companies in this game. I could have wrote down the names and at least track their step losses, because I think I'm going to have to go hunting through all the stacks to find out the step losses. But then, I suppose you need to update that all the time, wouldn't you? Yeah, maybe. So these are all in command. He's got a range of 2. They're just adjacent. He's got range of 1, and he's got guys here. No. He's got that guy there. Oh, he's the one that lost 2. Yeah, they're down here at the side. He's lost 2 platoons. So, to be honest, he might well be depleted. Did that just happen in the last turn that they got? I think it did, didn't it? Yeah. So anyway, these are in command anyway. He's got a range of 1, he's got a range of 2, they're in command, and then the Germans don't have any issues either. Yeah, because their units were up there, and I think that they got attacked. Did they get attacked by that? Whatever it was. Anyway, everybody's in command. There's no issues with that. Headquarters phase, right. So, let's go through this. Remember, they were resisting 6 the last time, but things could well have changed again. So, okay. Controlled objectives. Count controlled objective victory points earned by the AI side. Right, well, they don't control any objectives. And without going over it all again, we're doing both these things. We're checking objectives and step losses. So, yeah, I'm going to have to sort of just swing through this, haven't I? Right, nothing in there. So 1, 2 step losses in there. Coming down here, nothing there. 2 step losses. Right, and here we've got both of them have lost 2. So that's another 4. That's 6. 7. And then what we got in here? 8, 9. So 9 in total. I think it was worse the last time. I think it was 11, but then we lost the 2 platoons. So that's 9. Yeah, this is German, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So 9. Yeah, so their victory points. There's. Oh well, hold on. No, Grant. No, you're still counting the eliminated platoons. So we've got 2 of these, and that's going to be worth another 6 points, isn't it? Yeah. So you're still counting, Grant, surely. So 9 plus 6 is 15 this time. So 15 for the AI. Now for the player side, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 objectives, and then step losses. That's 1, 2 in there. 2, 3. He's okay. That's our guy. 3, 4, and he's okay. 5, 6, and in here nothing, I don't think. No. So 6 step losses plus the 4 objectives is 10. So it's 15 to the AI, 10 to us. So 15 take away 10 leaves 5. So that's the difference. So the difference is 5. It's way down here. So again, it is going to be defensive. And then the forces ratio, well, it should be 3 companies each, but it might be that one of them are depleted. If it was ratios of division from steps 4 and 5, so 4, so it'd be 3 to 2, wouldn't it? It would be 3 to 2. Well, I do need to know that, because the rush resistance will either be 4 or 6. If it's 1 to 1, well, you don't count depleted companies. Now, hang on. It says no, it doesn't tell you there about depleted companies. Where does it tell you about depleted companies? Here we are. Now, it definitely mentioned not being routed though. Right, why am I not seeing that anymore? Depleted companies. Right, there's no mention of routed there, so oh, I definitely remember reading that the last time. Right, where else could that be? Russian resistant. Well, maybe it's in the rule book rather than HQ phase. HQ phase, here we are. Count how many AI companies in the teleworkers employ. Ignore depleted companies. Right, now I'm starting to doubt myself. Oh, no, hold on, it does say. It says, in other words, a depleted company is any company with a remaining number of non-routed steps equal to or lower than the number of... Oh, hold on, Grant. Yeah, and why didn't you think about that? That's silly. So... Yeah, I should have. I feel like this was written somewhere else as well, though. I feel like it stood out quite highly that it wasn't counting routed steps. But here's the thing: I'm meant to be counting the steps that are left that are non-routed. So I'm sure there's something else I've missed. It's not in the main rulebook because it is just the solo book, Depleted Companies. What I'm saying is here, I've read this wrong. Well, that last time I checked, it says a depleted. And in other words, a depleted company is any company with a remaining number of non-routed steps equal to or lower than the number of platoons that originally comprised it. This was depleted because they're all routed. They're all routed. So the number of non-routed steps left in this platoon is actually 0, which is less than 4, what it started with. So that should have been not counted last turn. And the thing is, it's not counting this turn. Now, I don't think this one's going to count either because maybe it might. I think they've just got 4 steps left because these aren't routed. So that's 1, 2, 3. And in fact, he's got 2 steps. So in Echo Company, there's 5 non-routed steps left, which is fine. It's got to be. Is it greater than or equal to? No. Equal to or lower than the number of platoons originally. That means it's depleted. So in actual fact, if that had 4, that would be depleted as well. That's got 5. That's got 0. And that's why when I read that, when I was looking at that, I said, why is it not counting routed ones? You would think they were worse off than these. So hopefully when I'm looking back on that bit of the video, I spot that and make some comment to that before somebody lets me know. And I think the other company up here will be fine. He's got he's got 3. He's got 3. Yeah, there's 6 steps in that stack alone, so they're fine. That's fine. But this is depleted. So let me just deal with this one for now. So the objectives ratio was 5, and the forces ratio is there any point in looking at the AI? No, they're clearly going to have at least 4 steps left in each of their companies. I don't need to look at that, and none of them are routed. So the ratio is going to be 3 to 2 because they've got 3 companies that can count, and we've got 2. And on the 5, it is going to be 6 again. So it's going to be resistance to 6 again. Looking back in the last turn, well, we counted it as 1 and 1, so we ended up with a 6. So it must have been a 3. It must have been that 3 the last time. We counted it as 1 and 1, so we ended up with 6. And in actual fact, it shouldn't have been 1 and 1. It should have been 3 to 2 there as well. So the resistance previous turn should have been 7, I think. I want to say that probably didn't make any difference, but yeah, I think that's right. So, well, that's just staying at 6 again. Yeah, that was daft, because I should have realised that, because I remember reading it, I was saying, right, it doesn't count routed platoons. I was like, why is that? Well, it's not saying it doesn't count them, it's saying that a depleted company is any company with a remaining number of non-routed steps equal to or lower than the number of platoons that originally comprised it. So you're not counting the routed steps. And there's no non-routed steps left. There's no non-routed steps in that, which is lower than the number of platoons that started with 4. So that's depleted. That counts as depleted. And it should have counted depleted last time. Okay. So resistance 6 again. That that's going to be that, isn't it? That's, oh no, we need to dish out. Well, they're going to get 3 high level activity markers again. So, I mean, we're getting massacred here, I think, and we got lucky. None of them done 2 actions that last turn. We managed to roll the dice in a way that stopped that from happening. Okay, so it's initiative phase. So again, the Americans get a +2, +1 for being attacker, +1 for being. I mean, they're still classed the attacker. I think that just stays with them throughout the scenario because it's the scenario instructions at the beginning tell us that. They did have initiative last turn, so they're getting a +2. So they're the green dice. That's going to be a 5 and a 5. So we're going to need to re-roll. Same modifiers. Oh, there we go. That's a 3. So Germans do actually steal the initiative now. Alright, that's not going to help us either then. So I can flip that to the other side. And, well, that says player initiative, so we flip that to AI initiative. I don't see why you need both of them, but maybe there's some reason for it. I don't know. Well, could be if you weren't playing with Germans. No, I don't know. I mean, sure, you'd have that counter in the game that you were playing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so right, hang on, I forgot. I think I've moved that from there, haven't I? Yeah. Okay, so German's going to go first. Great. Right, so we need to find priority. Which one's going to be first? Right, so we are on the defensive. Resistance greater than 0. The Germans have nothing routed. There's no 2 actions marker assigned. AI force without reaction marker. None of them have got reaction marker. So we're looking at the force that is up to 3 hexes away from an objective hex not controlled by the AI forces. Except behind enemy lines. Yeah, that's not going to come in it. So that's the one we're looking for. We're not going to do the coordination. And then there's some secondary priorities. And I'm probably just going to skip by number 1. Because I can't fathom that one out. Hopefully somebody will put me straight on that one. So what we're looking for, up to 3 hexes away from objective not controlled by the AI. Well, this is up to 3 away from that. This is up to 3 away from that. That's the other half of that, and that's the other half of that. Right, so he's on, and this is up to 3 away from that. So they're all. We need to break it down more. Like I say, hex is reachable with safe movement and or with a greater number of objectives in play. No. I'm not going to go there. If these were empty, maybe then you can start looking at it and say, well, hang on, that can reach there. The thing is, it looks at that and then doesn't move there. So yeah, I was just having a glance there about the orders and what they might get, and seeing there is possibilities of advanced movement and then defensive movements. And then I thought, well, does that take them to like go and taking an objective? And there's nothing here. Even the targets are nothing to do with objective hexes for advanced movement and defensive movement. This still feels a little strange that they're, we've got 5 objectives in this scenario, and there's no interest to them. It's not of interest to them at all. I mean, because some of the things talk about objectives in play, why is that? Nah, I don't know. Right, okay, never mind. Right, so I'm going to skip by number 1, like I say, because it still doesn't. So number 2 is, this is a secondary priority, AI forces with the highest FF against the closest player platoons. Well, these are at a range. They two are together, they two are together, and these two are together. So, well, actually, that can't fire on that now because this is blocking, and this is a friendly in the hex. Whereas these two can attack this. So that might be, well, I'm looking for the AI4 with the highest FF against the closest player platoons. So it's possibly this, isn't it? So that's like 10, well, not -1 grand. So 9, and then another 11. Yeah, so 20. So I think it's going to be these guys, isn't it? That's 20 against that. I mean, it's not going to be 20 using that or that. Yeah, I'm not going to beat 20, am I? No. So this is going to be the priority. So it's... I forgot what it's called. HPT. Hauptmann, is it? Hauptmann. Hauptmann Lillenhof. Airborne... There it is up there. Right, so put the high activity level marker on him. We might as well just roll the dice again, because we actually got some good luck out of doing it that way the last turn. Now, Lillenhof is... oh, he's got a 9, isn't he? So he's 8 plus 1 for his leadership value. So a 9 or less they need. And they get an 8 this time. So yes, they're going to get 2 actions. Yeah, now I've got to remember now that this is them just doing their first action, so I maybe should have just stuck with the way I was doing it, to be honest, but anyway. I mean, I could put that on the... Yeah, I'm gonna just put that on the thing, I think. Yeah, let's try it that way. So his first action... No, I'm not liking that. I might sort of forget about all that. Let's just put it there just now, and I'll leave it on top of the officer when I'm finished. I think I should have just carried out the action first and then rolled the dice. So I think that's probably the better way of doing it. And then I don't have this to bother me just now. Okay, well, yeah, they're going to attack, aren't they? Then they are defensive. Yeah, I'm just looking at the orders chart here without high activity, defensive. Now hold on. Well, they do have losses this time, don't they? Who are we looking at? This and this, isn't it? Is that right? Bravo, Airborne. Yes. So that's got 1 step loss. And that's got 1 step loss. It's not going to matter, because 1 step loss, up to 3 X's from a player platoon, is going to be assault or attack react. So it's going to be attack react and attack react for them. And we know that the first time that they carry this out, they're going to attack. Now, the next time, though, if they've got the same action, we'll be rolling a dice to see they might attack or they might do the reaction. I'm assuming react means put a reaction marker on them. But the first time it definitely says if you've got a 2 orders thing like that, attack react, you attack. So right, well, we know the strength is 20, and they've got a machine gun adjacent. They've more than likely got the automatic fire. They do. There's not 6 steps in the hex. There's only 3. Sorry. Try again. There's 2. Because there's only 1 platoon and he's got a step loss. Yeah, this is looking grim. I think that guy's in trouble. So on the 20 column, Neeks, And they are going to join up, aren't they? Yes. Yeah, they want to group fire if they can. Yeah. So it's 20. We need the dice roll. Remember, they're going to get -2 for the machine gun adjacent, -1 for the automatic fire. That's it. The one in our favour, it's +5 defensive hex. So let's see what the roll costs. So with a -3, ooh, that's good for us. So 11 -3 is 8. It was just a -3, wasn't it? -2 machine gun adjacent, -1 automatic fire. Yeah. So the result is an 8 on the 20 column. 8, 20, yes, just 5. Look at that. Just. Damn. Yeah, we needed. Well, they've got 20 firepower. What are you expecting, really? So 5 divided by 5 is indeed 1. So it is going to be another hit here. So this guy's step loss is coming off. He's going to get flipped to the other side. Now that means we're going to have to check morale again, and this is going to rout, I think, this time, because now we are down to, right, can I not work it out with the amount of steps I've got left? What would you start with 4 companies? No, sorry, with 4. The company had 4 platoons. So that is 3, 6, 9, 12 steps. Is that right? Yeah, 12 steps. So we've just lost another step. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps left out of the 12. So we've lost 8 steps. This is just to check the morale. We've lost 8 steps, which is 4 above the number of platoons we started with. So our morale is reduced by 4. We've got a 7 plus a 1 is 8, but reduced by 4. Oh no, hang on though as well. No, that's right. This is a company morale check. Yeah, that's right, I think. Whenever we lose another step beyond the 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. We've got 4 steps left. We started with 12 steps, which is 4 platoons. Well, that number 4 is relevant. So we started with 12 steps. We've got 4 left. We've lost 8 steps, which is 4 more than the number of platoons we started with. So we reduce our morale by 4. 7, 8 reduced by 4 is 4. So we're going to make a morale check, and we need to roll 2d6 and get a 4 or less. And the thing is, if we get a high roll here, then we're in lots of trouble. Right, here we go. 4 or less. 7, well, we're getting away with the... If the roll is greater than morale by 1 to 4, which it is, 4, we've rolled 3 above the... It just means they're routed. It's just if we had rolled a 9 or greater there, then it just disintegrates the company. So they're routed. They've got to move 3 away. Where's the routed markers? That's 3 action. No, it's not them. No, they're there. On the other side, the double time counters, that's what it is. Right, so this routes and moves. Right, now hang on. Yeah, there's issues here. Well, I don't want to move this first. I don't know if I get the choice or not to do this, but I've got to move 3 away. Now, I can't move from there to there because I'm then adjacent to German units. So let's see how... I think I can get away with the fact that this is a friendly unit in here, and I can move into there first. Problem is, moving to there is not moving further away from that. Company or platoon immediately after being marked routed must move away from the hex that caused the rout. That is to say, the hex the fire came from that caused the step loss and led to the failed morale check. Well, that's this hex and this hex. So, I mean, in an ideal world, that's the hex he wants to move to, that moves further away from both of them. But I don't think he can, so let me read on here. Well, let's look at this together, actually. So, routed movement. Immediately after being marked routed, must move away from the hex that caused the rout. That's to say, the hex that fire came from that caused the step loss and led to the failed morale check. All platoons and officers stacked in the same hex must move as a group. This movement must be performed even if the company or platoon has been previously marked as finished. After that, the routed company or platoon retreats. Yeah, but this first hex, it's about where we're moving. So it's got to move 3 hexes away, including the first hex that retreated, right? Towards that side of the board, okay. Yeah. A routed company or platoon is automatically eliminated after its movement in 2 cases. Hang on. It is forced to move into prohibited terrain or off the board. Well, that's not the case, but that's the next one. If it moves through or stops in a hex adjacent to enemy platoons and there are no friendly troops in the hex, unless it can trace an alternate legal route, and then it shows the alternate legal route. If a routing company or platoon is cut off by prohibited terrain or the presence of enemy platoons that would otherwise cause its elimination, it may change its direction of route, albeit under 2 conditions. It may not move closer to the hex where the rout originally occurred. Alright, from where it started, does that mean? And then the second step is if there are several alternate routes available, it must move, if possible, towards its own baselines. If there is no alternate legal route, the platoon or company is eliminated. Well, it's not. I mean, it's saying I need to move further away from it, but I think the way it's worded there, I can. Get away with this, I think. Routed movement. That is to say, the hex. It must move away from the hex that caused the rout. Must conduct routed movement. Yeah. But I can't do that. Well, let's see if this is doable or not then, because I'm going to look at this first, because if I move this out of the way, then this guy's definitely dead. So he cannot move there because it says that he can't. A routed company or platoon is automatically eliminated after its movement in 2 cases. And the second case is if it moves through or stops in a hex adjacent to enemy platoons and there are no friendly troops in the hex, unless it can trace an alternate legal route. So I can't go from there to there. That means he's eliminated. You can't do that. If that's the only options I've got. However, I can go from there to there because there's a friendly unit in there. That could be my alternate route. So the alternate legal route, if routing company or platoon is cut off by the presence of enemy platoons that would otherwise cause its elimination, it may change its direction of route, albeit under 2 conditions. It may not move closer to the hex where the route originally occurred. And what was the other one again? If there are several, it must move if possible towards its own baselines. If there's no alternate legal route, the company, platoon or company is eliminated. Right, I think we can get away with this. I mean, this is not moving further away. That's the thing, but it's not moving closer to the routed hex where this is where it routed. So 1, and then just 2, 3. I think that's okay because if there's a friendly unit there. I think I can do that, and then this guy can go. He can go straight back. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to move him straight back. So I think that's okay. He's marked routed. These aren't finished though, so they will get the chance to try and remove that route this turn. But yeah. I mean, my only concern is there that well, in actual fact, he has still moved 3 hexes away from there, hasn't he? It's just that his first movement did not move further away from these two. And that's what concerned me there. So, okay, well, I'm pretty sure we are losing this game. I mean, that's 2 right, and you can see how difficult it's going to be to. I mean, the morale die roll for them is 4, and this one's going to be even worse, is it not? Because he's got step losses on him and that. I mean, I actually want to say that to rally this guy, am I not right in saying that the morale's going to be his morale's going to be 8, less 4 that we already done, but then less another 2 because he's got 2 step losses. Well, this is almost impossible, isn't it? I need a double 1. Okay. Well, that's them, and that's them done their first action. So now that goes on top of that guy to say that he can. Well, he's nothing to fire at now, to be honest. They've all just scampered away. Right, so what are we going to do now? It's back to us now, isn't it? Yeah, I think this game's going to be over quicker than I thought. It was me saying I'll get it finished next weekend, but I think if I get a chance to come back tomorrow night, which I probably will be able to have another part, that might be about it. Well, I don't feel there's a rush to try and rally these. Well, that might not be the right thing to say. Well, they're going to act next again because they've got 2 actions. So it's them that's going to do something. But I don't think. I mean, that's no line of sight. No line of sight to these. No, none of these have got anything to fire at. So they're going to make some kind of movement. I mean, surely they're going to move into that objective. You would think, maybe. Right. Well, what are we going to do? Are we going to attack this again? I think we should just stay back there. I don't think we should get close. We've got a couple of objectives held anyway. So yeah, let's just fire on this again. So Lieutenant Essig. So he's got. Oh, that should have came off last turn. That's been on. Yeah, that should have came off. So that's 9. The one problem with that is the machine gun's not adjacent, isn't it? Still got a -1 for it, but so you're getting a -1 for the machine gun, -1 for the automatic fire. So that's 9, and then is this another 10, isn't it? That's 5, and that's 5. Yeah, so 19. So we just miss out on the 20. That's the annoying thing. Yeah, I might as well doing this. So yeah, as in just a 3 defense, but mind you, we're crossing Bocage as well. So okay, right, gonna go for it. So 19 attack, 19 fire factors. -1 for machine gun, not in the same hex, so that one, And -1 for automatic fire, that's a -2. However, +1 for coming across blockage, so that takes us down to -1. Oh, steps in the hex. I don't think they've got 6 anymore, though. No, they've got 4. We've only got 4 steps in the hex, so we're sitting at a -1. And then it's going to be on the 18 column. We have 19, but it's going to drop to 18. So let's get a nice low number with a -1. What is something really good there? 7 -1 6. Yeah, because I wanted to do 2 hits. I think that might just be 1. So 7 -1 6 on the 18. Oh, it's 6. That's right, innit? I rolled a 7. -1 is 6 on the 18. So the result is 6. So that's 2 hits. Good. Whether it's going to make any odds or not. So 2 hits. So that step loss is coming off and he's flipping over. That step loss is coming off and he's flipping over as well. So that's 1 hit. 2 hits. Now let's check the officer first. Before we check some other things. So the officer's got to check, because he's in the same hex, a die roll with a -2. Well, 2d6 with a -2. And if we get a 1 result, he's dead. 2d6 with a -2. No, not to be. It's a tough one, that, to get in it. Right. But is there any other? Is there a morale check here? Kind of hoping so. We need something. Maybe not though. Look, that's them there. They've got no step losses at all, have they? So all we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4 step losses. No platoons eliminated. 4 step losses, and there's still 6, 7, 8. There's 8 steps left. Yeah, we need 1 more step loss and then for them to do a morale check, innit? Or is that... No, hang on. Did I not read it that it was equal to? Less, greater than or equal to? No, that's not what we've done before, though. Company morale. Exceeds the total number of platoons that make it up. What did I just read one that said equal to, though. That must be something else. Was that for routing? It must have been to do with routing. No. Was that? Or was it the actual morale equal to or lower than? Maybe. It does say any of its platoons receive hits and the total number of casualties suffered by the company exceeds the total number of platoons that make it up at the big start of the battle. So the start of the battle, they had 4 platoons. They've now received 4 steps. 4 does not exceed 4. Right, okay. No, that's a bit of a bummer. Right. Well, that's us finished, isn't it? So he's finished. And he's finished. And then that's us done. So it's back to them. Well, I'm at 43 minutes. I should push on here though. Unless I was to start another part, maybe. Hang on, let me check the time. Nah, I don't think I'm going to get another part. So, right, let's just carry on then. So it's going to be, well, we know it's going to be these that act for... Oh, actually, if they had routed, that would have changed things, wouldn't it? Mind you, it says AI forces supporting a routed AI company that may be assaulted by player forces. Well, we're not playing the assault, so that would skip by. AI companies with 2 or more routed platoons. Well, that would have took priority then. However, nothing in theirs is routed, so the next one is AI forces with 2 action markers assigned. So that's what's going to happen. So we'll take this off and we're going to activate Bravo company again. of the airborne, but I don't know what they're going to do this time. Let's say there's nothing in their line of sight this time, so nothing that can attack. So high activity, they're defensive. Now, does it even have 3? I don't think so. Well, here we go. Well, you're meant to check each platoon though, Grant, aren't you? Right, so we're down in here. Defensive high activity. And, well, let's just look. The half of two of our platoons are within 3. Or, when I say we, I mean them. Bravo, this platoon and the machine gun platoon are 1, 2, 3 away from that and that. However, the officer and the other 2 platoons are 1, 2, 3, 4 away from that and that. And then going that, well, actually it's the same going that way, isn't it? 1, 2, he's 3 away from that, and that's 4 away. That's not going to 3 away. Well, let's see if they do anything different then. I mean, what is the next? Well, what I mean by that is, and one of them's got a step loss, one of them hasn't. So the one that's 3 away, one of them's got a step loss. So it's wanting to attack/react, and this time this would be a die roll, and then this one's not got a hit. It's going to attack/react. And the attack bit is it can't attack from where it is, so it's going to have to follow the flow chart and move to a hex that it can attack from next turn, and unless it gets react, and does it? I'm assuming when it says react there, did we just put a reaction marker on it? Orders chart. Yeah, I was looking at this last night. I forgot to talk about this. This bit in here. AI forces in defensive mode will try to build an improved position if they are in a target hex. In a target hex? What? I mean, what? If they are in a target hex adjacent to it or another force in a line of defensive terrain. And then intel markers will receive both a reaction and a construction marker, while other sections only receive a reaction marker. I don't know what all that means, to be honest. I'm guessing it's in the rules though. I mean, it's on the player aid there, so it does confirm there what react means then. Which is kind of what I thought. So I place a reaction marker on the AI force, the activation of that AI force ends. Executing orders priority. Well, it's not priority. I just want the actual orders, isn't it? Orders assignment rules. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, this is it, yeah. It's the notes bit. Notes down the bottom, yeah, here they are here. I just want to try to find out more about what that means. So it says, well, actually, I think it's just word for word, to be honest. AI forces in defensive mode will begin building an improved position instead of performing their assigned action if they are in an AI objective hex, in an adjacent hex, or adjacent to AI platoons forming a defensive line or in defensive terrain. Place a construction marker on it. Other platoons in the same company receive a reaction marker. Okay. AI forces in defensive mode will begin building an improved position instead of performing their assigned action. But what is the if? If they are in an AI objective hex, well, no, they're not. In an adjacent hex, well, yes, they are. Adjacent to AI platoons forming a defensive line or in defensive terrain. So they are in defensive terrain. So why are they not moving into the objective? I mean, that's saying there they're adjacent to it and they're going to like dig in. Why are they not moving into it? You know, surely something should be moving in here right now. I must be missing that. I must be missing something. But nobody's said it, man. There's nothing telling us to move in to take an objective. And yet it talks about objectives quite a lot. I must be missing something here. Surely. Surely we must. Well, that's worded a bit differently in the rulebook there than what I did on that chart. So coming back to this would want to receive the attack or react, and we need to roll the dice for both of them. However, AI forces in defensive mode will begin building an improved position instead of performing a side action. If they are in an AI objective hex, that's not true. If they are in an adjacent hex, that is true, because they're adjacent to the... Oh, hang on. If they are in an AI objective hex. If they are in an adjacent hex, well, they're not adjacent to an AI objective. I mean, if that's what that's meaning, because this is a US objective, held objective. However, the next one is... Well, the next one I'm not sure about, because I need to look at it as defensive line, but it says adjacent to AI platoons forming a defensive line or in defensive terrain. Well, can we not just jump to that? He's in defensive terrain. They're both in defensive terrain. So they should, instead of performing their assigned action, they should be building an improved position. And in actual fact, that's what these should be doing as well, because they're in the same position. Well, hold on here. That means they shouldn't have attacked. Oh dear. They should have done this on the first action, shouldn't they? Following factors and exceptions must be considered when using the actions chart. Yeah, we're in a mess again. The problem with that is this should have happened last turn as well, shouldn't it? They wouldn't have. They were all in defensive mode last time. And in fact, every one of these are in defensive hexes. And that's one of the conditions to... They're in defensive terrain. Defensive terrain means terrain that's got 3 or more of a divisor. So it's anything that's not a clear hex. And these are all, and they're in fields. That's 3, that's 3, that's 5, that's 5, that's 3, that's 3. Some of these might have moved, but I think they were all in that sort of area. No, it looks like I've screwed up then. and they would have began building improved position. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't know what that entails, because I think they begin building it and then they finish. This could be some of the stuff that I'm missing from the rulebook. Improved position. I think they were there actually. It's up in the 40s. Improved positions. An infantry machine gun or mortar platoon in open terrain, woods, light woods, crestline, orchard, or fields may attempt to construct improved positions that will aid their defence against any PRR attack. However, their improved position will not modify their defence against a close assault. Right. That's sort of not saying that they can do it in a built up area. But I mean, built up area is defensive terrain, so I've had a long day at work today, I'm tired. Just want one of the sessions where you just want things to go nice and easy. I mean, it's sort of saying their improved position can't be built. It could be built in the woods on these fields. It could be built, or woods, but there's no mention of built up areas. No, that doesn't really help me any. But in the rules there, it's saying that if they were in defensive terrain, they would begin building an improved position. Let me go and have a quick look in BGG. Well, I checked BGG and typed in the word improved. I got one thread came up and the guy was asking, it says in the rules that, you know, you can only place improved positions in open terrain, woods, light woods, etc. He says, but some of the scenarios start with improved positions in villages. Now we've not looked into any other scenarios, of course. And he was like wondering if that was right. And the designer of the solo, that was a solo. The designer of the solo side of the rules came back saying, and again, I think some of these words are broken because, fair enough, Spanish speaker, you know, trying to speak in English, it must be, but they make a far better job of me trying to speak Spanish, that's for sure. But I got the impression from what he replied with was that it should be allowed in certain scenario setups that these are in place, but I don't think you can place improved positions. I don't think we can build one here, for instance. In this town, that's not something you can do. So that then means that can't do that. It can't start building an improved position. No. But I think like I say, I'm a bit weary after work today. I'm a bit shattered, to be honest. Struggled a bit today. And I've got 2 more days doing the same pretty much. So I probably should just leave things for now. What I'll do is, it looks like I've blundered on that bit a little bit. I'm going to put this 2 actions marker back, and that's where we're going to, in fact, we'll chuck a wee blue cube back on there on top as well. It does look like some of these things could have happened. Even, looking at this guy here, we're in defensive mode, right? He's in a defensive hex. He's an AI force in defensive mode, and he'll begin building an improved position instead of performing their assigned action, whatever that might be. We could assign them an attack, a movement, whatever. So rather than do that, it's going to do improved position. If they are in an AI objective hex, no. In an adjacent hex, well, no, I don't think so. Although this is an objective hex, but it's not. It says AI objective hex. Yeah, it probably means that. It probably means that is an objective, not just for the AI. It's an objective for the US as well. So it's an adjacent hex to that, but if that wasn't counting, if for some reason that's a US objective hex, maybe, adjacent to AI platoons form a defensive line or in defensive terrain. Well, he's in defensive terrain. If I look up the exact there's description of defensive terrain, that's what I'm going to get. Terrain effects. I looked at this before. It's anything above 3. I'm sure it is. It'll tell me that somewhere, but marker removal, terrain effects. So it's not really terrain effects, so is it? Hang on. Right, it's only in the solo rules that, which I should have realised that. It's on page 5 of the solo rules. Defensive terrain. Here we are. So a defensive terrain is any group of adjacent hexes with a high terrain defensive value divisor located next to any other terrain with a lower terrain defensive value. Oh, right, maybe there's more to this than I thought. I don't recall reading this then. I must have read it, but that's not ringing bells. Built-up areas, woods and dispersed buildings are treated as high defensive value hexes since their divisor against any FF type is at least 3. Hexes with fortifications, bunkers, trenches are also considered high. Because of this, in some scenarios, light woods may be considered defensive terrain. If they are surrounded by open terrain, well, lower... Oh, come on. Why does that need to be so complicated? So, there's no mention of a field there. That's what... I mean, the field's got a defensive value of 3 as well. The field is exactly the same as White Woods, as in for defensive value. Mind you, built-up areas, woods and dispersed buildings. Built-up area is a 5, dispersed buildings a 4, woods is a... Oh no, woods is a... Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong bit, sorry. Built-up area is a 5, dispersed buildings a 4, woods is a 4. Right, maybe I've got this wrong then. Maybe defensive terrain is a 5 or a 4, not a 3. But it says it here, it says it... Go on a wee bit closer there. Is any group of adjacent hexes with a high terrain defensive value divisor. High terrain defensive value. So is that just a 4 or a 5? Located next to any other terrain with a lower terrain defensive value. I think it's meaning what you would move out of open terrain into one of them, but I get that. Built-up areas, woods and dispersed buildings are treated as high defensive value hexes since their divisor against any FF is at least 3. Well, it's not at least 3. Built-up areas, woods and dispersed buildings is a 4. Oh, well, hang on, depends on the fire. Yeah, woods from artillery fire and AT fire, they are a 3. Yeah, I see. Right, it's not just AP fire we're talking here. So, what was that we were reading again there, though? I can't remember. Because of this, in some scenarios, white woods may be considered defensive terrain if they are surrounded by open terrain with a lower divisor value, and the forces occupying these hexes are attacked with AP. Likewise, that same terrain will not be considered defensive terrain against AT or ARF. Ah, man. Right, I've got some idea where they're trying to go with that, but it's starting to hurt my head a bit. Okay, I can't remember what the bit I was looking at there as well. I've got some homework to do, I think. I've got to look into this. Because I'm not that sure now if these are classed as defensive terrain or not. I believe these are, but they can't build improved positions in there anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna go and look at this a bit more. If I get a chance, maybe at work tomorrow, I'll maybe see if I can look into this a little bit more, because this has thrown me a little bit. Anyway, we're over an hour there as well, so I can just leave it as that, and probably another part that's not an awful lot of gameplay, just me struggling a little bit to get through it. I did notice briefly there a couple of comments for Hal saying that he feels that he's been watching back and the stuff, and he feels that I have been getting everything right. He also then agrees with the intel markers, identifying the intel markers, but yeah, I think I'm in agreement with all that as well now, that you can do multiples. Well, I'm leaving a few things in there for you to have a stab at, trying to help out with Hal and anybody else about how to work some of these things out. I've certainly left a few things in already, but if I'm going about things the right way, I'm sort of guessing a little bit. I feel like I'm guessing through a few things. You know, that latest one about the movement, about where you prioritise your movement, and now we're kind of stuck with this. But I get the feeling I could look at the rules and understand this and maybe get it. But it might well be that I've missed some things, because it's possible that some of these might have wanted to build improved positions. I mean, what they've done has been devastating to me. I suppose I'd quite like to take that back. It might give me a better chance. I think, to be honest, this game's going only one way. I think the Germans have it in the bag already, to be honest. It's the two actions. I think it's the two actions. And there's another question I keep asking. Am I missing the fact that why don't these move into the objective hex? I mean, in this situation right here, you would think one of these guys would move into here and take the objective, surely. But anyway, okay, I'll leave that, and I'll maybe get back. Hopefully I can work out what I've tried to think about there and come back tomorrow and fix it all. Fingers crossed. Okay, cheers.